Hello. Excuse me. So, here we are. And I'm about to turn on the power bar, which will then allow me to turn on the disk drive. And at this moment, because I've just turned this on, it should go just fine. I'm going to, well, I still can, load in the latest version of my, oh, I can type, torture program, because I know that this drive is going to fail and I won't be able to load it. So I don't want to do the backup thing. I just want to do the directory thing and the initialize thing. So, but what I must do as we start this, I must take these disk sleeves and put them over the upper vents of the drive to keep the heat in, because heat is something here. Something is happening with heat. So I think I'm going to move this over here. Seems more stable. Okay. So so the nice thing with this is when I press run, it's going to run. It's cataloging, and now it'll initialize. It'll tell me it's been doing it for 10 seconds. And onward it will go. Onward. So, I know I switched the drive controller card over the last couple of times that we have met. And as much as I would like to say that that is the problem, I don't believe that's the problem. Because this drive has continued to function. And this drive will consistently fail. Now it may take a little bit. So, Tony, I'm going to look in here for a moment. This is the drive that is now missing a screw from the controller board, but so be it. So, there are parts and pieces of this drive. We have the drive mechanisms, we have the controller board, we have the power supply, we have what appear to be two mighty hefty capacitors. Then we have the main board. So how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it comes down to this. somehow, some way, if I continue to swap things out, it's going to isolate something. The worst thing that it could isolate, of course, is the main board. Because the main board has a lot of stuff on it. Lots of stuff. I wonder if maybe I should look for a meat thermometer that more and more they use in restaurants to make sure that meat is properly cooked. But on the main board over here, there's the 10 chips that I have been swapping. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've lost count. Okay, I'll estimate, like, no, I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. But as I look in here, I do see, this is not the drive I've been working on, but I do see one little chip and a socket. That is rare. Anyway, back to our little chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 42 little chips. And generally, they are not in sockets, although I do see one on that board that is in a socket. One. That could be a hint to perhaps a chip that likes to fail. It could. It's very strange, this, because it almost seems like, well, like the drive keeps working. It isn't like that drive I was turning on before where it just comes up and flashes. Trouble! It keeps working, it just won't read. That's funny, I was talking with Stephen Gray? I think it was Stephen Gray at the World of Commodore, and he is not a hardware guy. I mean, he is happy to switch chips here and there, but we had trouble with a machine there of his that the video went weird. And there was another guy who is a hardware guy who said, well, I've got an oscilloscope in my car and we can, you know, we'll get to the bottom of this. We didn't actually get the oscilloscope out and get to the bottom of it, but we could have. Or he could have. So, I suppose I might start having to refer to, I may have a manual for this around, like a service manual, and there could be schematics and other things online, and such. But I'm going to continue with the big things to try and get it. Well, I want to know where. If it's the power supply, I doubt it is. Because if it's the power supply, like thermal runaway, you know, there's smoke and maybe even flames and stuff. But who knows? Maybe it's a little, but I doubt it. And the capacitors, I don't know. People always talk about recapping things. But I would think if it was a severe power issue, that worse things would happen. or would just stop, or, you know. So I'm thinking, because we have swapped the controller board out and put the other one in here, this one is fine, or it seems to be fine, that probably we're down to something on the main circuit board. Probably. But I will continue to isolate. I shall. And if it really comes down to it, if I must, because this drive here, the one I'm testing, is very pretty. It's not perfect, but it's pretty. I am going to even look for some touch-up paint that might match. It's not white, it's just a little off white. But it is really lovely. And it would be, except, I mean, for the stuff written on the side that was scratched in at whatever school it was at, you know, it really is pretty. Whereas the T-Pug one even shows some signs of, God help us, rust. But it works fine. And the others over here, well, they're not bad, but they're not as pretty and as pure as this one that keeps failing. So, anyway, I know most people would like to have the original board, the original chips, the original everything. But I think they'd rather have something that works. I think. So this is now going on towards, 9 minutes and 24 seconds. TI string is a beautiful thing. You want to know how long something's been doing something? Look at TI string. And if you really want to know, set it so that when you run the program, you either have it set the time, the actual time, or you set it to 0, so you know how long something has been doing whatever it is that you're doing. So, as this was dead, stone, cold, 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 I'm not surprised it's taking a little longer. I may actually move the keyboard back here to help secure the tightness of the seal that is keeping the heat in. So when it fails, I suspect there will be screaming. I keep looking at this. This is the rat chewed on minorly ribbon cable. But definitely the first red wire has been compromised. And some of the others are exposed. So I should throw this away. But for the moment, I'll stick it on the lamp. If I do end up having one that is really just for display and dead, maybe I'll stick it in there. So we're now at 11 minutes, 43 seconds. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So although this was not the plan at all, I'm really hoping to get back to the SX64 project. I may, in fact, while I'm doing all this, get more, even get the floating 4040 out so I can really determine what's up. And I suppose while I'm here, I can try and get a peek at the pile a little bit. Oh my. Well, there's another, the floating 4040 is there, way down, and then there's another one. Let me look here. 8050, 8250, 8050, 8050, 4040, 4040. Oh, way down there, what's that? Oh, I don't want to knock things over. I can't see. Hang on. Oh my. Well, including the floating 4040, there are 3 over there that I can see. I don't know how complete they are. Well, we're now at 15 minutes, 3 seconds. I guess when it starts from nothing, it is likely to take longer to get warmed up. So, I suppose now, it's funny, I was looking at one of the videos and I thought maybe that pile looked like it was leaning a little bit. But maybe the camera was off a bit. So I guess what I have to decide, once I ever get this figured out, is what to do. And certainly, if I was feeling adventurous, I would dig those 4040s out and redo the pile and really do, much like I was going to do in the SX64s, a one-time assessment of everything. So I know what I've got, I know what works, I know what doesn't work, I know what parts I have, and then proceed from there. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I think 4040s, because they are like the 1541 in terms of format, although not identical, but damn close. It wouldn't be a bad thing to sort of get that resolved and then decide what's going, what's staying, what's worthy of going. Who knows? Maybe eventually, although I can't imagine, maybe I'll have things worthy of the T-Plug freebie table. So, we're now at 17 minutes, 5 seconds. And it's just fine. I suppose I'm going to let it keep going. And I will report back. I shall, when there's something to report. Yes, I remain perpetually in